Saturday afternoon tea with my husband is always nice. Today it was especially nurturing and comforting. I thanked him and told him what a blessing he is in my life, and then I let him go back to his television program as I headed to the showers. The hot, pulsating water of the shower beating on my back was exquisite. I could feel the memories being washed away as I recited the lessons in my mind. If you stay too long in pain, you will get SOS, stuck on stupid. I chuckled to myself. Rhonda had been stuck on stupid for a long time. It wasn't that she was stupid, but the dull ache from the constant pain of her life rendered her senseless. She had no sense of herself or the power she had to move her life in another direction. When you stay too long in a place where you do not belong, patterns of pain become etched in your mind. Rhonda had stayed much too long with John. It had taken her much too long to find her strength, discipline, and courage she needed to give herself together. Discipline comes from doing the very thing you keep praying for the discipline to do. I stood still in the shower and let the soothing, cleansing water wash away the 9 years Rhonda had spent in and out of stupidity with John. She had done it, left him, refused to speak to him, refused to be abused or self-abusive. Her friend Ruth had taken her in. Her friend Roseanne had helped her with the kids. Her friends Linda and Lorraine supported her and each other, held onto each other, and cried together as things got increasingly better. In the end, it was working 2 jobs that proved to Rhonda that she could take care of herself and her children. Taking the soap in my hands, I gently massaged away the years of abuse and neglect Rhonda had experienced at the hands of so many people, including myself. I made a nice lather over the fear, avoidance, and denial. I turned the water up full blast and washed away the suds. Ugliness and unworthiness went down the drain. When I felt clean all over, I started dancing and singing in the shower. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Mama said there'd be days like this. Ah, young woman, hear me roar. Sounds like you're having a good time in there. My husband peeked over the shower door. Are you taking calls? Who's that calling on my phone? It was a jingle I'd made up to the tune of Who's That Knocking at My Door? It's Karen. Fear shot through my body like a torpedo. No, tell him in the shower, I whispered. I told her that. So tell her again. Tell her I'll call her back. There are some things that black walnut soap and hot water cannot wash away. With Karen, I had stayed too long in a relationship where I did not feel nurtured, comforted, or supported. It had reinforced the patterns of feeling worthless and helpless. Somehow, I had allowed myself to believe that I was the victim. I had told myself that I was powerless to stop people who overstepped their boundaries in my life. I thought about Rhonda's next 3 years. Years of loneliness, years of isolation, years of when she wasn't sure but she kept on moving, years when she wrote a hard shell over her bruised and battered soul, years of working, not working, looking for work, not finding work, 3 long years of insecurity and instability. I lathered up again and let the water wash those years away. Then it hit me. Some people just don't know, and others think that they're going to go back and cleaning up their crap. Most people want to start today and feel better tomorrow. They want to take a yoga class, listen to a meditation tape, rub a crystal on their head, or believe they have fixed their lives and healed their souls. You cannot create a new way of being in one day. You must take your time remembering, cleaning up, and gaining strength. If you push yourself too fast before gaining the strength you need to go into a new direction, you're going to fall and bump your head. I wasn't ready to talk to Karen. had not yet figured out why I stayed so long in a relationship that did not nurture me. Still, I had to figure out why I was afraid to fire her. In order to do that, I needed to remember what happened to Rhonda when she got strong and moved forward into new challenges. How do we deal with new challenges is always a reflection of how well we have healed. I had the urge to take a nap. Do not go to sleep on the job. Rest, but do not sleep. I would rest in my prayer room. I sat down in my favorite chair, pulling the blanket up against my chin, and I began to pray so I could remember just a little more. Delight thyself in the ways of the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Dear God, it is my desire to know you and to serve you. It is my desire to acknowledge you in all that you do. It is my desire that you will be done in my life, and it is my desire to be a light, your light unto the world. Please show me those things about myself that are no longer pleasing to your sight. And when they are known to me, I ask that you please take them away so that I may be the you have created me to be. Now, Rhonda had prayed for guidance. She stopped working nights because the children were getting into too much trouble when she was away. They would do their homework, but they had friends over in their mother's absence. Babysitters were too hard to come by. The good ones were always busy, and the not so good ones ate too much. She held onto her welfare benefits just for times like this when she needed to be home more. But that meant going to the welfare office. It was a dismal, nasty place where people got paid to find ways to treat other people like animals. Rhonda always showed up on time. She wore the same outfit she always wore when she went to recertify for benefits. Cheap jeans, a white t-shirt, and sneakers. She always had the required papers with her, and that helped her make the trip a little bit more bearable. Not pleasant, just bearable. There was a big commotion going on in the welfare office when Rhonda arrived. A client was cursing, a caseworker was screaming, everyone was watching and waiting for someone to throw the first punch. Rhonda sat down next to the two women who were arguing. Several more people got involved in the controversy, including the woman Rhonda was scheduled to see. As she watched, she vowed to herself that she would find a job or perhaps go back to school. But she would not spend the rest of her life coming in and out of places like this. A caseworker in the middle of the room began shouting at a client, "All you welfare mothers are just alike. Someone should take you all out, put you on your knees, blindfold you, and shoot you. What you do to your children is criminal. You should all be shot." I wonder if she thinks she's talking about me. Rhonda thought aloud. I am not a welfare mother. I'm out of here. Rhonda didn't wait to see her caseworker. She gathered her papers and she left. She talked herself all the way to the bus stop. I'm out of here. That's it. I am done. When they start talking about shooting people, shooting poor people, I'm gone. She boarded the bus. She was furious. How dare she? She must be related to my grandmother, talking like people like that. Rhonda thought how tenuous the temporary job market was, and fear crept into her voice. How am I going to feed my children, pay my rent, buy shoes? Realizing that she was talking out loud, Rhonda looked around at the bus, and the people were now staring at her. That's when she saw the advertisement. If you are ready for change in your life, come to Medgar Evers College. Rhonda got off the bus, and at the next stop, she transferred the bus that would take her to the campus. 20 minutes later, she was standing at the admissions office at Medgar Evers College, filling out an application. Rhonda discovered that she was not all stupid, After taking the placement test, she was told that she did not need to take any remedial classes. There was an angel in the financial aid office that told her how to fill out the applications in order to get maximum benefits. There was another angel at the registration office who told her how many clients to take and how to fit all of her classes into 4 nights. Armed with piles of paper and returning to college, studying habits and how to write term papers, she went home. Rhonda went home to wait for her acceptance letter. It came 3 weeks later, as did her financial aid approvals. 2 months later, at the age of 29, Rhonda started college. Daddy and his wife were crazy to give up their welfare benefits. Grandma agreed. Ned said she would help type her papers. The children wanted to know how could they come to help her. Ruth invited her to come over and drink to celebrate. Linda and Lorraine volunteered to help with the kids. John, her ex-husband, just hung up. Rhonda was so excited she thought that she would burst open. The week before classes started, she was offered a 3-month temporary assignment. It all seemed so easy. Rhonda wondered why she had not done this before. By the time she was a sophomore, she had learned how to use a thesaurus, how to footnote a term paper, how to make stew in a crock pot, and how to have a 4.0 grade point average. She discovered that she was a decent writer, so decent in fact, that one of her professors thought she was plagiarizing her paper. The professor told Rhonda that she could not believe a freshman could produce such caliber of work. Rhonda was mothering by telephone, becoming involved in political activities, and having a good time in her life. She made new friends, and for the first time, she was having a wholesome, non-sexual relationship with men. And she and her male schoolmates talked about things that did not involve money or sex. It was a new experience for her. By the time she was in junior college, she had learned some very important lessons from Medgar Evers. She had learned that when you are smart, attractive, and hardworking, some people will like you and others will despise you. She had learned that when you cannot make people do something they are not willing or inclined to do, she learned that you have to make yourself available for people to use you. They will use you. She learned that if you work hard, stay focused, and put your mind to it, most of the time things will work out for the best. She also learned that sometimes, no matter how hard you work, things just don't work out the way that they should. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And forgive me, because I know not what I was doing. Rhonda had maintained her 3.99 GPA and was the valedictorian of her class. She made herself a beautiful white dress of English eyelet for graduation, and at $14 per yard of fabric, it was the most expensive dress she had ever worn. The children were matching white outfits, and when Rhonda walked across the stage to receive her degree, the children walked with her. Damon did a little jig in the middle of the stage to the delight of his audience. And even though her grandmother never praised her, she knew that she was proud and excited. That summer, Rhonda decided to enter law school. A week later, she was talking to someone very important to her friend Eddie, who she was dating. And it was at that time he said to her goodbye. They were sitting at the kitchen table discussing the Stevie Wonder concert they had just attended. Eddie was smoking and drinking. Rhonda got up and stretched, and she was tired and ready to go to bed, and Eddie announced that he was leaving, he was not coming back. Where are you going? Home, Eddie answered. What do you mean, you want me back? I'm not going to see you anymore. That's it for me. What? I'm ready to move on, to settle down. I've always told you that this is not what I want for myself. I think I'm ready to get married. Well, to whom? I don't know yet, but I'm ready. Oh, okay, that's what you want. Rhonda heard it, but she didn't believe it. When Eddie didn't call for 3 days, she began to think he was serious. She started frantically calling his house, his mother's house, dialing her. She enlisted the help of friends to watch his house so she'd know all of his comings and goings. But still, she did not believe that he was serious. It took about 2 more weeks for her to get it in. When she did, she sent her children to her father's, pulled the shades down, got into bed, and stayed here for a week. On the day she finally got out of bed, Rhonda got dressed and went directly to Eddie's house. When he opened the door, she didn't know what to say. They made small talk for a few minutes, and when Rhonda asked if she could come in, "It isn't a good time," he said. "I've got company." "What does that mean?" "I have someone upstairs." I don't care. I need to talk to you. She stepped in quickly inside and darted past Eddie and headed up to his apartment. When she got inside, Rhonda couldn't believe her eyes. The woman standing in the middle of the living room had her same haircut, size, and height. The woman ran into the bathroom and shut the door. Rhonda sat down and Eddie offered her something to drink. Is that your wife? Rhonda asked. No, Eddie said. She's just a friend. What are you doing? Please help me to understand what this is that you're doing. What do you want me to say? I've been telling you the same thing for the past 4 years. I don't want a ready-made family. It's not you. It's not the kids. It's me. It's just not what I want. Rhonda sat there, letting the words sink in. The other woman crept out of the bedroom and asked permission to use the telephone. When she finished her call, she said to Rhonda, look, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry. You don't have anything to be sorry about. This is not about you. This is about learning how much of myself I'm willing to give up for somebody who doesn't love me. And I thank you for being here. The next time Rhonda saw Eddie is when she visited her in Philadelphia, where she had moved to practice law.